All right, we're live on YouTube. It said we could go for 8 hours. I don't think we're going to go that long. I've got to be to my CE class in 22 minutes. But Joe Herrera and Taylor Prince here with JTG Coaching. We wanted to sit down and kind of debrief a little bit from our February coaching event, go over some of the things that we learned, some of the things that perhaps the agents that came to visit would have learned, and maybe kind of go from there and talk a little bit about Facebook Live and some of the experience we're having there. So Taylor and I welcomed 15, 13 agents from across North America. We had a couple from Canada to our office here in Las Vegas last week. We taught them everything we know about Facebook marketing and advertising. Taylor has designed some really awesome follow-up scripts for our contact management system that automatically deploy when a lead is generated. We sat down, wrote ads with the agents that were here, tweaked the ads. For the most part, had really good response. Sometimes running ads can be tricky, but I think it went really well. So Taylor, let's just start there. What were some of your takeaways from last week? What do you think people were?
Sure. So yeah, the couple things that really stood out to me. First of all, I just have to say the caliber of agents that we got was fantastic. I think across the board, we saw that the agents that came in were top performers in their marketplace. They're people that were hungry, that they had a desire to grow. They weren't completely satisfied, happy where they were currently at, but they saw the bigger picture. They wanted to increase their business and grow. So I was really impressed with the character of the people we brought in. Some of them are people that we've seen at different conferences and worked with in the past and done some networking, done some other types of training, mastermind stuff with, and super, super high caliber people that I was really impressed with. The other thing that stood out to me was all of them, regardless of age, regardless of market, regardless of different types of marketing that they're already involved with, all of them were pretty positive. They understood the need for the Facebook marketing. So I think a lot of agents don't understand yet what Facebook does or why it's important, or they recognize that there is something there that they need to get invested in, but they just don't know where to start. They don't understand how it will bring increased revenue and growth to their business. So the people that we brought in already understood that was something that they needed for their business. Some of them had messed with it a little bit, but every single one of them had made a commitment to become masters at the Facebook marketing stuff. So I was impressed with the character, and also I was a little bit surprised to see that regardless of the marketplace, regardless of the team size, individual agent, old, young, whatever it was, all of them were having limited success at Facebook and wanted to grow that business.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let me ask you this. Your microphone, I think, is rubbing on your shirt. What was your biggest, what would you say was your biggest takeaway from things that they shared with us or things that they shared with you?
Sure. So the common thing that kept popping up was Facebook Live. I think Facebook Live is something that's taken the whole, not just real estate, but taken the whole Facebook community by storm. It's pretty, for a lot of people, it's pretty annoying. Facebook's given quite a bit of attention to it, so that if somebody makes a Facebook Live video, it pops up in your screen, you get notified, you see it. And so there was quite a bit of buzz about Facebook Live. Some of them are already doing it. Some people knew quite a bit about it, but aside from the Facebook marketing stuff that we were training on, the Facebook Live was a huge hot topic.
Well, so obviously I think we do a pretty good job, but who or what, doesn't have to be real estate. Who are you seeing that's doing it right? Or what Facebook Live videos do you see that you actually are drawn to?
Sure. Yeah. So does that microphone sound like it's still rubbing?
That's a little bit better.
All right. Yeah. So the people, well, I don't know the people that are doing it. I think it's so new that there's a lot of agents that have just started getting into it, but the applications that I've really liked, there's a couple things. I think, and you've actually done some great ones, and I'm sure you'll be able to add some talk about it. But I really like the virtual open house. I think back in the day, I remember sitting, on a Saturday and watching MTV Cribs and seeing people roll up in these awesome cars and showing these pools with caves that had jacuzzis in them and big screen plasma TVs or whatever it was. But Facebook Live for real estate, to me, is a little bit like MTV Cribs back in the day. You can roll up with just your iPhone and a gimbal or whatever and do some awesome footage of a house and give people that live streaming feature of a house similar to what we've seen on TV. So I like that. I also like the testimonials. Clients get to see who you are and see some of the stuff that tutorial stuff that you do for your business, that you do for their listing, some of the stuff you do with your buyers. So I think tutorials, I think a Q&A, if you can find a good guest speaker, somebody that you can interview, which you've actually done a few of those. I like check-ins too. I think it's awesome for, in Las Vegas to see somebody check in Facebook Live at the Ridges or at a Pulte community or at a subdivision or at a clubhouse inside of a subdivision and do a little Facebook Live. They're out showing houses. They check in, they show the community, and it just gets the people that are in their friends on Facebook. It shows them that they're out on the job doing their thing. So
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think you're right. Like there has to be some sort of stabilization unit attached to it. Like when I do our Facebook Live videos, my phone is always stationary. The thing that drives me super crazy is so many agents are doing YouTube or Facebook Live videos and their cameras bouncing all over the place. So you're watching, I'm more distracted and almost like motion sick by the background. So I think digital open houses, checking in at different communities is huge. Somebody doing that, I guess, you just bought a gimbal. I have the DJI Osmo or whatever. I haven't really busted it out. Everything I've done so far has been pretty stationary, but it seems like a tool that's here and it's definitely not going anywhere. As you know, we picked up 2 listings last week because of Facebook Live, and they're literally just things that I would call average sales propositions. They're not even that unique. I would just talk about some of the things that we do in our listing process, some of the things that are just standard for the way we do our listings or we run our contracts and agreements. And people really seem to gravitate towards it. And so there's definitely some power. I think one of the challenges we've had as the Joe Taylor Group is being somewhat disambiguous. People don't know who we are. Is Joe Taylor a person? What is the makeup of our group? How many agents are there? What are our personality types? So people have seen us everywhere in our marketing and advertising. But I think being able to put names with faces, voices with names and faces, and then seeing us articulate, I think is going to help our business a lot in the long run. And sadly, I just don't see a lot of people doing it right. For the most part, the Facebook Live videos I see are really, I don't know. Donald Trump to me showed me during the election what is possible. And that was, I don't even think Live was around then. It might've been, but anyway, somebody would just stand at his desk and take a video of him sitting there. And I was like, dude, this guy's running for freaking president of the United States. There's zero production, zero logos in, contact information out. Like it was just literally somebody pointing their cell phone at him talking, and they would post that on his Facebook page, and people really gravitated towards it. So, I mean, I guess in your opinion, is it the honesty that really drives people to it?
Well, and one thing too, let me ask you, you were telling me, I think last week, what is the difference between Facebook Live versus just recording a video on your phone and then the next day putting it on Facebook and sharing it with your friends or boosting it? Like, what is it so powerful about Facebook Live? Why Facebook Live versus a pre-recorded video?
Well, if it's done right, people are interacting. And so you're getting real-time responses from people that are asking questions or making comments on the discussion. So it could be super powerful there. Some of the limitations, like obviously this isn't a Facebook Live video between you and I because it's all single user right now. So unless you're a celebrity, which I do think they allow them to do multi-users, you can only do single user Facebook Live. And so there's a challenge that exists there. I do think that if you are going to, one of the most powerful things about Facebook Live is that the video actually rolls as you scroll. So if you're doing a Facebook Live video, and even if somebody's viewing it 8 hours from now, as they're scrolling down their Facebook page, the video starts to roll, which hopefully catches them because of body language or attention or whatever. One of the hacks around that is, so what I'm going to do as soon as you and I are done, I'm going to take this video, I'm going to download it onto my computer, then I'm going to upload it into Facebook. So Facebook does allow this video to start rolling as soon as people scroll into it, so long as it was uploaded to Facebook directly. If I just copy and paste a link from YouTube or from somewhere else, it'll show the link, but you have to click it to start the ad or to start the video running. And I think really a big power tool in video right now is that when you're scrolling through your Facebook page, it sees or people will see you talking and see you moving before the sound even starts. And so you either have to do that via Facebook Live, or you have to download a video from YouTube or somewhere else and then upload it directly to Facebook.
So let me just shift gears a little bit and talk about being in front of a camera. So being in front of a camera is usually pretty intimidating. Being in front of a live camera can be a hard stopper. Like it's not something people are comfortable with. You mentioned, just talked about just doing it, just getting in front of it and just making it happen regardless of how you feel. I feel like Facebook is making a massive push with video right now. I think I read somewhere that by the year 2020, the majority of all content on Facebook would be video. And it feels to me, as a real estate professional, I don't understand completely why video is so important, but I know it's happening. It almost seems like back in the dawn of emails, like I didn't understand why I needed an email, but I could tell everybody was getting an email, so I got an email. And obviously now we use email for 99% of the stuff we send out, the way we communicate. So with Facebook, it seems to me like there's a massive push to make video the number one platform, the number one posting stuff that's happening on Facebook. So what does a real estate agent need to do to get into that, to be comfortable with Facebook Live, to be comfortable getting in front of the camera? How do you make that happen?
Yeah, it's a great question. They just have to do it. As you know, I've been on a kind of a crazy Gary Vaynerchuk pilgrimage a little bit, and he just says, like, if you don't adapt, you're going to die. So as so much of marketing and advertising and human interaction is going to video, if real estate professionals do not adapt to be prepared to speak in front of a camera and become comfortable with that concept, they are going to fail. Their business is going to go away, and other people who are comfortable doing it will step up. It's funny because it's almost like clients want either, it seems like they're either comfortable because they've seen a video of somebody and like the barrier's broken down that way, or they only want to text. Getting people to interact via the telephone doesn't really exist anymore. And so in my opinion, it's an adapt or die situation. And as you and I become more comfortable with video, we're going to be sending our clients videos long before they ever met us. They're going to know a lot about us, our personality traits, our mannerisms. So they're going to become comfortable with us before we've ever seen them face to face. And if we are not ready, if a real estate agent is not okay standing in front of a camera, you and I don't have scripts right now, we're just talking. If we as a real estate professionals don't get comfortable with that, we're going to fail and our business is going to die off. And somebody is going to step in our place, generally a younger generation. Like right now, Snapchat, I've got to figure it out. My son wants to be on it. He's not allowed on Instagram, but I'm going to let him, I think, do Snapchat as long as I can determine it to be safe. But it's 100% video. There's nothing else. It's videos and images of yourself. Instagram, as soon as they launched the video platform, is super annoying to me, but I find myself now have gravitated to where on a daily basis I'll click through the videos. They still kind of annoy me. Facebook, in my opinion, is doing it the most right, but I think, like you said, it's coming, and if you're not comfortable with it, you're going to fail. We're just forcing ourselves to be comfortable with it now. You and I don't want to do this, but we have to figure out how to communicate to a blank screen and hope that people will see it in a week or a month or a year, be comfortable with our personality, and then contact us for our services. And that's a crazy concept. But it's like you said, when you and I were in school, we had to write out little love notes to girls and pass them a few rows over. Now guys will just text a girl straight up, or they'll DM them on Instagram or send them a Snapchat. And so we're living in a world that didn't exist 10 years ago. The scary thing is, what's the world going to be like in 10 years when we're talking about, remember when we used to type out messages on Facebook and send them to people? So
Sure. No, and you brought up something, we bring in on average around 2,000 leads a month with Facebook, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But right now we're completely we somewhat face a major hurdle because those leads that come in, they don't know us. They see our houses, they like this stuff, the marketing we do, but they don't know our personalities. They usually don't know who Joe Taylor is. And with this Facebook Live stuff, this video stuff, it does give us a huge advantage so that they can see the body language, the characteristics, some of the hobbies that we'll talk about, the way that we interact with one another. So I think taking advantage of videos gives us a huge tool to get to know these people and just present ourselves in a better light. You know, phone call right now, phones is probably the best way that we can convey our personality when these leads come in, but having them already on our Facebook page, already watching these videos before they call us or before they get a call from one of our agents asking if they want to go check out a house, they already know a little bit more about who we are and understand our process and our personalities. And I think you hit on a cool idea there. It does give us a major advantage.
Absolutely. I think so. I agree. We'll keep toying with it. Anyways, so Taylor and I, we have an event coming up in March 13th and 14th here in Vegas. We've got a few spots remaining. If you have interest in potentially coming out to the event, go ahead and email me directly, joe@joetaylorgroup.com. Other than that, we're always available via Messenger on our Facebook page, Joe Taylor Group at Love Local Real Estate or JTG Coaching. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in and watching the video. Shoot us any questions you possibly have.